So hello and welcome all of you for the filmmaker Q&A for the Kashish 2020 virtual. Your films are there in the Indian Narrative Shorts competition, which is the most hotly contested competition because people love Indian films, and also the films which are played as part of the Indian Narrative Shorts competition get to win 20,000 rupees and a trophy, of course. So welcome all of you. So over to Abhra, who is the moderator, and he will ask you the questions. So thank you all for joining in, and we hope we have a fantastic conversation.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We all know we are going through a really difficult time, and most of us are under lockdown and have been, it's really amazing to see all of you together on the screen at this moment. So, Shipra, I'm going to come to you first. Please tell us, where are you right now?
So I'm sitting at home, as all of us are. I'm making the most of COVID. I think the message that we've tried to give in our film as well. There is a lot of beauty in the world, and in the small things and the small pleasures of life. And this time, possibly this is the silver lining that I'm seeing in this period, where we're able to kind of focus on a lot of the small things that in our daily humdrum lives we kind of just skip over.
Tell us how you're associated with the film Pencil Box, and how your experience was working on this film.
These two boys, basically the director and the associate director of the film, are somebody that I've known for some time, and they had a beautiful script, which they were looking to kind of create a movie out of. And I started a production house. It's been in my mind for some time to have an involvement in films. But with the limited time that that a regular job allows for, and the limited talent that I have, production has been what has been more up my alley than direction. So Amit has done a fabulous job on the film, and we're thinking of new projects and what to do next now.
So how difficult was, or how challenging was it to set up something given the theme of the film? Of course,
right.
It does.
So there were two of the biggest challenges were, one, working with child actors, because they're very different dynamic, and the predictability basically goes for a toss. Because not just the actors themselves, but even their parents and or their guardians, you have to kind of cater to their needs as well. Plus, it being a fairly low budget movie, there is a lot that you are expecting from an artist, and you need to make sure that you're going out of your way to kind of make them comfortable. But I guess the belief in the project from the directors as well as the actors was immense, which helped us navigate that challenge. Most of our movie is shot in Dharamshala, in and around that area. So, and Dharamshala, with its beautiful locales, comes with its set of challenges. So from accommodation to food for 50, 60 odd people. It was a challenge, yes, but I think that all of us who went there, I think nobody will forget that that outstation locale, because it was really, really great fun. I mean, much more fun than say the in-station shooting locales that we did.
Right. And how did you find the child protagonist of your film, who has done a fantastic job, I must say?
Yeah. So I would say, like, the director kind of, I got lucky with him. We got lucky with the child protagonists as well. So it was just, sheer luck that we chanced upon, not just Aryan, but even the other kids have done a fantastic job.
Thank you, Shipra. I'm going to come back to you. Rakshak, so tell us about your film. You're representing the film Chunni, right?
Yes.
So, which is again a film which has the LGBTQI theme, but which is all again set in a rural India, which is something which we really not see often in the mainstream. Themes such as these, which are now slowly coming up in films like these. Rakshak, can you please tell us about your journey as to how you came up with the idea, and why you chose to set it up in the setting which you chose?
One of my friends just called me and he said that, listen, I know you're into films. He's like, I'm into theater direction. and would you like to have a conversation? I was like, yeah, why not? Like, let's have a conversation. And he's like, you are doing amazing job. I've seen some of your work. You're doing cinematography. I'm really interested in working with you. And he just goes on with the rant of story that all of us were aware of. Like, I remember when my brother was born, so transgenders come at your home to bless you in small rural areas. That's their major earning in areas like this. So they would come, they would dance, and they would give you blessings. And as a kid, we were all scared to be around them. And so there, when my friend said that, like, you know a concept about Nachar, I was like, yeah, I know what Nachar is and how that whole thing works in a society. And he's like, so I was like, I don't want to tap that because everyone knows what they do and like what they're trying to do. But I wanted to do it on a very personal thing that I was like, okay, so how is like, I just went on with the question saying that, listen, what would happen if I knew that my dad was a Nachar? How would I react to that? And that's it. That was one single line, and we were like, you know what? We are going to do this film. And we started off writing, like we were all excited about it.
Right, absolutely. And it talks about acceptance of in such a beautiful manner. Also, your film is wonderfully shot, I must say. And tell me, you're a cinematographer yourself, right?
Yes, I am a cinematographer myself.
So tell us about the process. I mean, but the film has been shot by you or someone else?
I have shot the film. I knew that I wanted to make this film, and I was not ready to wait. All of us were waiting. Like, my actors were done, everyone was done, just the cinematographer was left. And then I decided because on floor it's really difficult to direct, because once you have camera in your hand, you're more worried about the framing, you're more worried about the lighting, all these things. You cannot look at the performance of the actors on floor. But what I did, that instead of going on floor, I took a 1 week with the actors, made sure that they had everything ready, where to stand, what dialogue to say, how to react. We were all so prepared that on the day of shoot, I had to do nothing, just focus on the camera and just tell my ADs that this is what they're going to do. Just look at them. And I mean, I'm blessed that I had actors which were all up for the challenge, and they're not bugging at all. So I had a fabulous time on this.
That's great to know, Rakshak, because it is, I mean, direction in itself is such a difficult task, and you chose to do direction and cinematography together, and yet managed to get the performances and such beautiful performances. So now I'm going to come to Tushar. Hi, Tushar.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thank you. Where are you currently, Tushar?
I am at home in Noida. So yeah, I've been at home. It's been a while.
So Tushar, your film Saving Chintu, that is also, we have seen some really complicated issues being strung together, and portrayed to us, and we actually see two parallel stories going on, which we think they are actually moving parallelly, but yeah, it's only in the last shot tells us what the timelines of the two stories are. So Tushar, please take us through the process. Take us through your process of scripting the film, which has been told so beautifully.
So I actually, met someone who this is like inspired by true events, and I live in Mumbai and Los Angeles. So I was in LA and I met this person out of nowhere, and we started talking, and then somehow he tells me his story. And I'm like, okay, I'm very, very intrigued by your story. So we anyhow, I worked with 3 other writers, which are in my writer's room, for like almost 2.5 years just on script, because we needed to get those two storylines. They are running parallel one, and these are like, mind you, at like 30 or 35 years of difference. So we, first of all, I wanted to kind of weave it in a way where people don't understand. I mean, they do understand each storyline, but they are confused how, if you put them together, how do they make sense? So what we did was like, we spent almost 2.5 years writing it, and then we had to do an extensive research because there's a scene of, orphanage. And so back in those days, like before 2000, so there were like a lot of institutions who were conducting their adoption procedure. There was not a like one rule or centralized rule in India. So it was like all orphanages, they were doing literally pretty much their own thing. So we had to reach out to a lot of orphanage and now centralized board, which is responsible for adoption and make all the facts right. And I actually interviewed like almost 20 couples who have adopted kids straight. Most of them are straight, who have adopted kids in India from India in last 20 years. So my only thing was like, because it's so many twists and turns in this film. Last thing I wanted to do is like get any fact wrong. So yeah, we spent a lot of time researching, and yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Tell me, you have also worked with professional actors in the film. Aarti Hussain, there's Dipanita, who's beautiful. How did you manage to get them on board? Did you have any difficulty in casting them?
So what happened was like, I was pretty much sure. So I only had one character that I was sure that who I want. I mean, there's a Sachin Bhatt who's playing, Sam. He's my friend from LA. So writing the script, I always, not so to say picture his face, but I knew that, okay, he's the guy who'll be playing Sam. But for Dr. Sanjay, I knew I wanted Adil Hussain. So when I had this script ready, I actually reached out to Adil and I told him that I have a script and I would like you to read it. And if you think it could be something that you might be interested in, I'd love to have you on board. At the same time, he was shooting in Atlanta, I think for this Star Trek or some other film. And he was like, okay, Tushar, send me the script. I will read it in a couple of days and I'll get back to you. So I sent him the script. He didn't reply for 2 weeks. So I thought, okay, it's a toss. So I have this habit, like if I have sent an email, I kind of send a follow-up email in a 2 weeks time. So I sent him a follow-up email saying that, yeah. So I was like, I just wanted to know, did you get a time to read it? And he was like, Tushar, I am so sorry. I've been working and my scenes are very, in full of intensity. I'll read it and I'll get back to you tomorrow. He did. And when he sent an email, I was so scared. I didn't open it for like a day. I was like, it has to be a no. I mean, yeah. And then I opened it and he had written that I love the script. I love to be a part of it. And so we reached out to the Panita. She said yes. And the only one character that I had issue casting, because I was like, I will postpone this film if I don't get this character the way I want, was Mukesh, the orphanage head. Because, you have to have that character which makes you feel gross. And I was very kind of adamant that I want someone who can, peak jo marte hai after eating tobacco, who can do it authentically. Everything worked out.
Amazing, and such good performances, I must tell you. All of them.
All of them, yeah.
Now I'm going to move on to Aarti. Your film, The Song We Sang, which is again based out of, based in Ahmedabad. So tell us where you are right now, and tell us about how you got to the story.
So I am in Ahmedabad right now, based out of here. And about the story, so I work with Green Chutney Films, which is a production house, and we're 3 years old, and we are a bunch of young filmmakers who got together, and I've, I think, been with them since the very beginning. So In fact, this project was our first venture into a short film space. We've been like working on ads, and we've been working on like a lot of digital content, and we really wanted to move into a fictional space. So we knew that we wanted to make a short film, and when we were talking about the short film and everything, I had this thing from when I was in college that I wanted to make a very honest love story. So that's something that I pitched to them, and I said that like, how about we make a love story set in one night in the city of Ahmedabad with two women, and to have a cultural context to it, like Navratri is the backdrop of the film, and that's how the conversations began. And then in fact, this film was supposed to be a 5-minute film, which was supposed to be like a Skype call between Alia and Krishna, who are the two characters. And then like it went, like we wrote drafts after drafts, and Chintan is my co-writer. So like both of us, we just like, we fell in love with the characters ourselves. And then we were like, okay, like this deserves more than just a 5-page film. But then Chintan, who's the co-writer, and I, like, we really fell in love with the characters ourselves. So then we said that, okay, maybe this story needs more than just like, a 5-minute presence, and let's like step out and show the city of Ahmedabad, because I think there's like little representation of like of Ahmedabad as a city also. So I think that's where the thought came in, and then we wrote drafts after drafts, and it became a 20-minute film. So that was the process.
And how did you manage to get two lovely leading ladies who are such good actors? How did you cast them?
I think I'll give all the credit to my casting director, Manashri, because I think casting was the most difficult part of our process. We took around like 8 to 9 months only for the casting. We held a lot of auditions, and there were issues, like, because there's also like a kiss involved, so a lot of actresses weren't willing to do that. So that was an issue. And then we happened to find Ayushi and Sarina, who just fit the part perfectly, and they're such brilliant actors, and they had the sensitivity and the elegance, and yeah, it just all worked out in the end.
After seeing the film, I kept thinking, did it really happen? Which one, whose perspective were you showing us till now? And which one should we believe? Like, I really want to believe that, they actually met and spent the entire night together. But the last scene, it of course, I'm sure, all of us who have seen the film would be thinking in our heads, like, which one to believe. So as a filmmaker, while writing the script, were you clear what you wanted to show?
While writing it also, we were like, let's not answer that question, like, let's treat it as a test of whether the viewer's like an optimist or a pessimist. Like, if you are an optimist, you'll actually say that, okay, this did happen and they did meet. So I think it was like, we didn't have an answer while writing it. We just knew that we want to create that sense of chemistry on screen throughout the film, and it should be so powerful that in the end you do feel the heartbreak. So if you do, then the film works. So that was what we had in mind while writing it.
So Makarand Sawant's film Guptadhan, Makarand couldn't join us, but Guptadhan is being represented by Bhushan Kulkarni, who has a long standing relationship with Kashish. We have worked together. We were volunteers a couple of years ago, I remember, and Bhushan has been, a lot of his films have been shown at Kashish before. Bhushan, tell us, how was your experience in playing Guptadhan, the central character of Guptadhan?
It was very nice. Last year, the director Makarand Sawant, even before he began the film, he knew me, so he came to me, and he actually wanted to cast a transgender in this film. And I was more excited to suggest names I was just giving him names and number कि इसको call करो, उसको call करो, ये बहुत अच्छे काम करते हैं. And I was only a kind of script consultant on that film, just correcting where he did not know things about the community, so that we have the right things. So I was like the last resort कि भूषण कोई नहीं मिल रहा, अभी तू ही कर ले. So that is how I did this film. Otherwise, I was just going to be the script consultant and probably doing subtitles. And it was a great experience because Makrand, he belongs to the non-fiction category of television. He does a lot of reality shows as a producer and executive producer, and he's been making a few short films for now. But this was a very different subject, very close to his heart, that he really wanted to attempt. And he did not leave, and we all did not leave any stone unturned to bring the things in the right manner and to kind of convey the message that he wanted to.
Also, Bhushan, your film actually deals with a very important topic of course, there is acceptance in one level, and then there is organ and blood donation. You know, how did that concept, which is such an important topic, right? So how did that got weaved into the storyline?
Yes, Makrand Sawant himself is an organ donor. He's an organ donor, and many of his friends and family are organ donors. So they really believe in this thing, and they wanted to somehow inculcate this in a film or in a story where it doesn't look like a documentary or a message or an ad where they say ki donate your organs. They didn't want it that way. They wanted to incorporate in a story our gender identity, orientation, sexuality. When we accept them, a lot of problems in life are solved for us. However, many times his life is beyond that. So he wanted to touch upon life beyond gender identity. There could be something more than gender identity which could resolve some questions in our life. Of course, knowing oneself made, like for Meera in my film, knowing what she is and accepting made life easy for her, but that was not the end of the road. There was still something ahead that she was looking for, which happened through organ donation or blood donation. That is how that came into picture.
Please tell us how the festival journey of your film has been so far, and what has been the most of the reactions that you've been getting. Aarti, would you like to start?
We just premiered in London. Our film was supposed to be premiering at the Indian Film Festival in LA, but because of the COVID situation, that couldn't happen. But they're still going to have a festival next year. So that's going to be happening. But so far, we've premiered at the London Indian Film Festival. So that's been great. I think we've received a lot of positive responses on the film, and like sadly that was for UK audiences, but I'm glad that Kashish is going global so that more people can see it. So yeah, it's been great so far, and I'm like really excited for Kashish. It's our Indian premiere, so very excited.
Great. Rakshak, would you like to go next?
Yes, sure. So yeah, I think my premiere is going to be Kashish. So I'm really excited for that. So yeah, I think Kashish was the first film festival that I submitted my film to, and I think we had a long talk about submitting it to Kashish and it being the first one. And next, I think I'm waiting for Dharamshala Film Festival. I'm really excited for that. And then yeah, I didn't choose a lot of film festivals, but I'm planning more on the next movie that we do, next film that we do. Then yeah, I think I've moved on from Chunni at this point. So I'm more working on the next project that we are doing. So I'm just happy that it's in Kashish. So I think that's the achievement that I think the goal has already gone there.
Right. Thanks, Rakshak. Tushar, your reaction?
Yeah, so far we have had it in Outfest Fusion. It's premiering at the same time. The week Kashish is happening at the same time. It's also premiering in New York Indian Film Festival, and we have made it to 3 Academy qualifying film festivals as well. And we are very, at this point, we are very excited, me and my producer, because our film has been picked up by LA-based company to do Oscar like a live action short run for 2021. So we'll be also starting our this Academy Award campaign somewhere in September. So I mean, everybody's like on the team is very excited about that.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so we've showcased our film at a few festivals and we've had a great response. So more than the international film festivals, we got an honorable jury mention at the Dada Saheb Phalke Awards in India. So that was like a really great moment for us and our team. So yeah, we are very new here, so we're just seeing how this goes. We're just going along with the flow.
And how has been the audience reaction so far?
We've gotten great comments. There already people are asking us, what our next project is going to be. So I think that's like the biggest, proof of concept achievement that you can get.
Great. And so, yes, please tell us, I would ask this to all of you. I'll throw this question open to all of you. What is your next step now?
So, yeah, I'm writing this unusual story about a man who thinks that his family has been abducted by aliens. So yeah, it's again going to be set in a rural setting, and so there's a lot of I think that this whole concept is really going to be interesting to be shooting in area like this. And yeah, I'm hoping to get the same reactions that I got through Chunni.
Tushar, what has been your plans now?
I'm also actually working on a screenplay these days. It's a feature film. It's based in Agra, and actually our initial plan were to start shooting in September or October this year. But then because of everything that's been happening, we have pushed it to next year. But it's kind of, I like to play with the mind of audience, like they are getting, I mean, I like that they are just busy with the information which is at their exposure at the instance, and they are kind of amazed and thrilled and shocked when they get to the third act of the film. So we are just busy doing that, just giving a little bit plant and payoff, giving a little bit information, and then the whole climax makes it, a bigger picture.
So it's the same for us. The Chintan and I mean, we were also the writers of this short film, and we've been working on a feature film now. So we're in the process of writing it, and it's a story based in Ahmedabad. It's an ensemble drama with young adults. So yeah, we're really excited to pitch it. And we're already pitching it at a couple of places, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the response we get to that.
All the very best to all of you. All of us would be really excited to see what you do next, right, Sridhar?
Yeah, I mean, really an amazing conversation. Thanks, Abhra, for analyzing the films and bringing the highlights of each of the films. And thank you, filmmakers, for sharing your stories.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.